What's up, Grayson Report? Happy Thursday. How's everyone going? What is up? Tammy, Heather, whatever, Carol, NJS55, Daniel, Matthew, Dusty, Julissa, Gunner Girl, Kyle. How's everyone doing? We'll wait a few minutes for people to trickle in. How's everyone doing? And am I live? Yes, I am live. I'm just checking. And then I feel like I'm there. That's a little better. All right. Daniel, how's it going? Did anyone do anything interesting this week? Is everyone caught up on your Christmas shopping? Or do you guys still have Christmas shopping to do? This month has gone by pretty quick, to be honest with you. I can't believe tomorrow is going to mark 5 days till Christmas. That is crazy. And then a week to the new year already. This year has gone super quick. Daniel's like warm and happy. That's all that counts. It actually was warm here. We were in the upper 80s, I think, today here in SoCal. Not upper 80s, low 80s. I just said upper 80s because it felt like a nice spring day almost here in December in SoCal. Dusty, what's up? Amazon will be delivering the gifts by Monday. Super cool. Mercy Brown in the house. What is up? So while we're waiting for people to come in, we do. Oh, yeah, guys, as always. Daniel, thank you for reminding me. Skeleduck is somewhere in this background. If you guys just remind me at the end of the stream and I'll reveal his location. If you don't know who Skeleduck is, I'm pretty sure everyone knows, but just in case, he is, hold on. He isn't pictured in my upper left-hand corner. I always say right. I don't know why. Might be your upper right-hand corner, my upper left-hand corner, because I think we're flipped. That is what he looks like. I hide him every stream. He is somewhere in my background. Just remind me by the end of the stream and I reveal his location. Bernadette, what is up? How's it going? So while we wait for people to trickle in, I do have some movie news. Dusty saying, have you hit? I have hit the like. Have you? Thank you for reminding. Julissa, what is up? How's it going? We do have a first look at Megan 2.0. Honestly, I wasn't too, great idea, great concept, but I wasn't too, I don't know, impressed with Megan, the first Megan. I just felt like it was something I've seen before. It reminded me of Chucky kind of, and I felt like Chucky was better. I don't know. This is my opinion. But they are making another one. And I'm like, Emily Parkinson, I'm hoping you're on the mend. Been in the hospital for the last 10 days, but I made it tonight. Happy holidays, guys. Emily, I hope you are doing better. And you are on the mend. Bernadette is watching from the shower. Okay. So as I was saying, I wasn't too impressed with Megan. I do like creepy dolls. I did think she was creepy, but I felt like I've seen it before. So it wasn't anything like it didn't woo me and that type of stuff. But Megan 2.0 exclusive first look, how a very ambitious sequel boots up a new universe. What would an Avenger level event set in the Megan universe look like? Star Allison Williams said director Gerard Johnstone normally don't have to think about such questions, except now they have stumbled into their own cinematic universe based around the viral killer robot who slays in more ways than one. Over 2 years after the 2022 movie from Blumhouse became an instantaneous pulp culture phenomenon, but they said phenomenon, fueled by a TikTok-friendly dance, the pair are ready to deliver a sequel next year with Megan 2.0, while a separate erotic thriller spin-off, Soulmate, about a sex robot gone haywire, is also in the works. I don't know about that one. Cool name, though, for the movie. It's the new MCU, aka Megan, a cinematic universe. So back to the question at hand. So they're making everything comparable to the MCU, because I mean now we have the Pooniverse with the beloved cartoon characters that we grew up with, now open domain becoming horror icons, which I have no problem with. I do like that idea. I like that originality. It's something different. It's the execution that I question, because the first film that started it off was Pooh, Blood, and Honey, and it didn't start off with a good bang, I should say. I have not seen the second one yet. That is on my list, my long list. It's rolling all the way out the door here. But Matthew goes, they changed her a little in the pictures I've seen. Matthew goes, HCU, the horror cinematic universe. I am terrified to imagine what that would mean. What is the Thanos equivalent? Williams, who also served as executive producer on Megan and is now even more involved as a producer on the sequel, responds to Entertainment Weekly. Let's just keep going as long as they're interesting and each one has its own story to tell. Just jokingly, whenever the producers ask me what I think about a sequel, I always say Megan 3000. John Stone says, Megan in a Mad Max universe, I would absolutely line up to see that. So this is the Megan for Megan 2.0. I still feel like she's CGI'd a bit. That's kind of what it reminded me of. It's like, you remember that Chucky where they actually had a CGI Chucky? And I was like, not to say she's not bad. If I had her as an actual, like prop, it would be cool. Like, I think she's awesome, but it's just like I said earlier, I felt like when I was watching the movie, I've seen it before. It all began when filmmaker James Wan, The Conjuring, Insidious, and the folks at his firm Funhouse horror production company, Atomic Monster, cooked up the idea for a killer doll movie. They taped Akela Cooper, the brilliantly twisted mind behind the campy head-splitting Malignant, to work on the script, and John Stone, the New Zealand-based director for horror comedy Housebound, to helm. Their monstrous creation was a story about how Gemma, a roboticist at a high-tech toy company, creates Megan, a life-sized AI-powered doll designed to be the ultimate child companion, while also coming to terms with being a guardian to her recently orphaned niece, Caddy, played by Violet McGraw. When Megan bonds a little too firmly with Caddy, malfunctions and sentience lead to entertaining catastrophe. Williams knew they had something on their hands when the first trailer came out. Megan, rendered on screen through a combination of robotics, visual effects, the physical performance of Amy Donald, and the voice performance of Jenna Davis, attacks a guy with a blade and a paper trimmer in that early teaser, but she first does a little dance routine that became so popular online that even the boss of Blumhouse, Jason Blum, dressed up as Megan for both Halloween and the film's premiere. To quote Charlie XCX, I cannot stand her music. You guys didn't hear that from me. She had quite the brat year. They understood that she's a canonical type, an alpha intense girl, like a Marnie Williams says, referencing to her character from HBO Girls. Then, when the movie came out, watching people have so much fun with it and enjoy the experience in a theater, challenging her, using her in memes, learning the dance is just the greatest ever. I don't know about that. I know the dance went viral. For Johnston, sorry guys, it felt like a mixed blessing. The movie's about the dangers of technology and kids being on their iPads, and here she was blowing up on TikTok, he says. There's also one sorry guys, there's also one that I noticed on Netflix with Megan Fox. And then there's another one with an AI robot also on Netflix. So it looks like, it seems like it's the year of the AI. I mean, AI is becoming more consistent nowadays. In fact, you even have Meta AI on Facebook where you can tell it what you want and it'll put you in a scene. Like, you'll be like, imagine me as this, and it'll put you as that. So that is the sign of the future. I don't know if we're gonna go toward like the time of Terminator where the machines take over the world, but I feel like technology is definitely going that direction for sure. I don't know. I mean, I think they're trying it, having robots like serve drinks and stuff now, but I don't know how long that's gonna. I don't know. Maybe if the technology gets a little bit better, I would say like a machine could probably last longer, but still you got the maintenance and all this kind of stuff and wear and tear. The more you use something, the more that it could go down. So I feel like in some ways a human, even though we're not perfect ourselves, are probably more practical. But Daniel goes, the machines are here. Elaine, how's it going? Oh, Daniel, that's right. Alita Battle Angel. I love that movie too. I forgot about that one. Jennifer Murray, how's it going? Kyle, that doll makes me feel things. Gutter Girl goes, that would totally be crazy. There are already robots taking over jobs. Yes, I heard. There's people. I've heard. I don't remember what country it was in, but there's people working from home, controlling a robot to put away things like in a warehouse. And I was like, what the heck? I mean, you got this guy like basically kind of like in his chonies and, and his wife beater. I probably shouldn't say that on YouTube. YouTube's gonna take it different. His tank top. YouTube, you didn't hear me say that. And he's using like a VR kind of headset thing, and he's controlling a robot in a warehouse, and he's putting away product. And I was like, what the heck? I mean, I guess that's kind of cool, but what happens if the robot malfunctions? It is a coincidence that Megan 2.0, which is also the name of that SNL sketch, is now being released during LGBTQ Pride Month next year on June 27th, 2025. So it's going to come out around the time that 28 years later comes out. I did see an article saying that trailer was the highest view horror trailer when it came out. I cannot confirm nor deny, but I do know that these things are often taken into consideration, Williams replies, but I don't actually know the answer to that. Plot details on the sequel are heavily kept locked away on some encrypted server, no doubt, but both Williams and Johnstone acknowledge how they're having a bit more fun armed with the knowledge that they were onto something the first go around. Johnston mentions Wan had a kernel of an idea for a sequel, but the concept largely stems from the director's earlier plans. I had actually a different idea from the ending of Megan, which would have been interesting, but probably not as satisfying. He said, the good thing about doing a sequel is I got the chance to expand on that idea into a larger narrative. The idea James had fit really well with that, so it was just a really good marriage of those two things. I'm trying to see if there's. So basically, we have this photo, which is Violet McGraw as Caddy in Megan 2.0. And then we also have Megan herself from Megan 2.0. Any of you guys excited for this movie? I'm kind of like, the first one, like I said earlier, didn't really woo me. I've seen it before. I mean, I don't really watch horror movies to get scared. I just love horror in general. You might get the one where I actually jump during a jump scare, which is very, very rare. But this one kind of felt like I've seen it before and I've seen it done. Not to say that Megan looked amazing. Like if I had her as a prop in my background, I would be elated. But just the movie just did not woo me. Are you guys excited for Megan 2.0? I'm more excited for 28 years later, to be honest with you. Daniel goes, they need to make a movie with Chucky and Megan. Yes. Yes. Just imagine, like Chucky has the hots for Megan. No, actually he can't because he's the bride of Chucky. She'd come after him. Elaine's like, so. Daniel goes, see, there's another whole 10 movies right there. True. Oh, yeah. That's right. First of all, they start the first movie will be Chucky meeting Megan and they join forces. The second one would be Chucky's bride of Chucky getting jealous of Chucky because he's hanging around with Megan, and then bride of Chucky goes after Megan, but then Chucky is like, "Wait a minute, she's my friend. Just don't tell him, Megan, I got your back. Just don't say anything." It'd be like Chucky versus Megan. The bride strikes back. But well, we will probably never see that. Elaine goes, then the bride and Megan join forces and go after Chucky. Yes! Megan will be like, that asshole. Bride of Chucky would be like, yeah, you know what? You know what? You're right. He did this and this and this to me. Let's go after him. Oh my God, I make interesting movies. Thank goodness I'm not a screenwriter. Before I get into my main topic, Ty West is set to direct the Prime Video horror series Bloodlust. If you're not familiar with Ty West, he did X, can't even think of the name. X, Maxine, and Pearl. If you haven't seen those, you got to check them out. Pearl is probably my favorite one out of all three of them. X isn't that bad. Maxine's probably the weaker one of them all. I think they are on HBO Max. I know Maxine is. I'm not sure about the other ones. Now that the X trilogy is seemingly over, director Ty West is moving to the small screen for an upcoming dark comedy series called Bloodlust, which will stream on Prime Video. It will reunite him with singer Hosley, who had a part in Maxine and the third film in West's horror movie Tripic. I did not even know she was in that. Hosley won't star in the series, acting only as creator, writer, and executive producer. West is no stranger to doing television. In 2015, he directed an episode of Scream, the TV series. He went on to do episodes of Wayward Pines and The Exorcist for Hulu. There are no plot details about Bloodlust at this time. It has been in development for a while, with details only being released today by Variety. Although Maxine was officially the last chapter in the X universe, West has teased that there might be one more left. Just before Maxine was released theatrically, he made this comment to Variety. In about 2 weeks, I will wake up for the very first time not thinking about something related to these movies. Then the movie is done. It's out and I'm off to the next thing. And if that brings me back around to X, great. But if it brings me to something else, that's fine too. So we'll see. So maybe there'll be another X down the line or something connected to X, Pearl, and Maxine. But I did enjoy those movies, so I am looking forward to kind of checking out Bloodlust. I have a new fascination with horror and comedy because as a kid I was not big on it. So I know in the past I've talked about the hauntings at Disneyland. So Disneyland is not the happiest place on earth. Especially with those prices. Yeah, it's like you gotta sell a lung just to get tickets to go to Disneyland nowadays. It's not like when I was a kid where it wasn't. I remember tickets being $50 to go. And now it's like what, 100 and something? 200 and something or something like that. And then the pass is like a down payment on a car. So I haven't literally been to Disney since I was in my 20s. I think that was the last time I went. Yeah, I think I was 20 the last time I went. Daniel goes, I've been to Disneyland once when I was 4 years old. I don't remember a thing. Julissa goes, it's so sad that it's so pricey now. I love Disneyland. It just seems like now they got greedy and they're trying to make money. I get businesses are there to make money. I understand that. I get that's the whole point. You can't run a business unless you have customers. And you can't keep a business sustained unless you have customers and business and sales. So I do understand that. It's with everything. You know what I mean? It's like businesses can't make money if people don't have money. So I mean, I understand that. They're there to they're running a business. They're running a business. They're trying to keep the lights on. They have to pay their employees. I understand that. I get it, but it's getting ridiculous that to the point of like prices keep I feel like every 6 months I see that the prices are going up. So it kind of turns me off to wanting to go to Disneyland. I've been wanting to go because I've never gone to California Adventures here in SoCal. I went to Disney World once when I was 12. Heather, whatever. Thank you for that super chat. Hi, Disneyland popcorn for me, but I heard about the price. Hearts for Heather, whatever. Thank you, Heather, whatever. I appreciate that. Dusty goes, I want to see a horror film between Donald Duck and the two chipmunks, Chip and Dale, Killer Apples. That would be so cool. I don't know if Donald Duck is open domain yet, but that I'm sure someone's already cooking it up. Julissa goes, my dad tells me that when he was a kid, they'd buy tickets like a carnival to ride rides. That is cool. But there's also Disneyland also has its urban legends. Oh, wouldn't it be cool to see Chip and Dale's on a murder spree? I am so crazy that I think of that. Logical Spark, what is up? Logical Spark goes, I saw Popeye will be in the public domain so people can make movies and stuff. They are already making a movie, Logical Spark. I think it's called Popeye the Slayer Man. I think that's what it's called. Yes, it's called Popeye the Slayer Man. There is a trailer out there for it. I'm not sure when it's coming out, but they already done it. So as soon as something comes up, that there's already people cooking and thinking up of ideas. As soon as it opens up, they've already got the movie ready to um um ready to go. Elaine, thank you for that super chat. Hearts for Elaine. Thank you. Julissa goes, Lisa, you must check out California Adventures at least once. Cars Land is amazing. I was obsessed when Cars came out. I was obsessed because I love cars in general. But when you had cars that were talking and had a personality, oh my God, I bought all the toys. Like I have them in my closet. I have all the car. Like I probably don't have all of them, but I have like a good, like a couple of boxes of car toys. And that was one of the things when I saw that I wanted to go visit, but that price makes me not want to go at all. Bernadette goes, I think we all know Minnie cheated with Goofy, make a movie Mickey versus Goofy. And Pluto the sidekick. Oh, wait a minute. Pluto's not a sidekick. He's a man of his own or dog on his own. So it's going to be Mickey versus Goofy versus Pluto. Dusty goes, yes, Cars was made for adults. Exactly, it was. It's like there's only I'm not a huge like cartoon fan, like older like when I was a kid, obviously, when we're kids, we always watched a lot of cartoons, but older, I'm not a huge fan of animated movies, but there are a few that caught my attention, and I really loved Cars and I loved Monster Inc. Monster Inc. is still, I can watch that movie over and over again. I loved Sully, Boo, and Mike. Oh, Chris goes, I love, what's up, Chris? Love Disney creepy pastas. So this is 10 Disneyland urban legends, some of them true. The happiest place on earth is also one of the greatest sources of conspiracy theories. From rumors of Walt's frozen head to rumors of theme park deaths, people love a sinister story that taints the family-friendly image of the park. So in honor of Disney's 100th anniversary, let's take a closer look at our 10 favorite Disneyland urban legends. Some of them are actually true. This came out, this is like a older article, but it was also updated last year. No one can die at Disney. I don't think I've ever heard of that. I'm the type of person that when you make something from our childhood, like something so childlike, like dolls, for example, or like how they're making out from all these beloved cartoon characters that are becoming open domain and how they're making them horror. I love that. I love something that's innocent but they make it horrified. Like to me, that's like something you would least to suspect. And I've always, I mean, in some movies you suspect it, but I've always loved it. And Disney's no different. Like hearing urban legends and the hauntings, I'm like, oh my god, it's not what I thought it was. But I feel like every place has its history. Bernadette goes, how can Goofy be a dog and walk and talk, and Pluto is a dog and can't do that? Things that make you go hum. Daniel Rowe's Dr. Stone anime series was pretty cool. Heather Whatever goes, it used to be going to Pacific Beach with my parents. The stores had rude Disney knockoff things. I was all eyes. It was a weird time. No one could die at Disney. Lots of people seem to think that Disney will not allow anyone to die on its properties, requiring an ill-fated guest to be officially pronounced dead elsewhere. In the book Inside the Mouse, a writer claims that a medic said that this was actually a park policy when a guest unalived himself in front of the Epcot Center at Disney World. A man did unalive himself in front of the Epcot Center in 1992 after a rough breakup. But what's actually more probable, according to Snoops, is that anyone who's been seriously injured is rushed to the hospital, even if they seem like a lost case and pronounced dead there. So so they're afraid of people dying on their property. I mean, it happens. Life is a gift. It's not guaranteed. We can't guarantee tomorrow. So if we happen to be at Disneyland and have a heart attack, I hate to say it that way, but if something happens, they rush you off somewhere else to pronounce you dead. And people have definitely died or sustained fatal injuries at both American parks. Here are just a few from Disneyland. In 1964, a 15-year-old boy was killed trying to stand up while on the Matterhorn bobsled. He was thrown from the ride and died 3 days later. In 1973, an 18-year-old man drowned after he and his little brother, who was 10, hid on Tom Sawyer's Island until after closing and then tried to swim across when they wanted to return home. The older brother tried to carry his younger brother to shore but didn't make it. He disappeared under the water about halfway across. The 10-year-old was rescued by a ride operator, but the older boy's body wasn't found until the next morning. In 1998, Luan Phi Dawson, 33, and Lu Thai Vong, 43, was waiting to board Columbia. As the boat docked at the Rivers of America, it tore a metal cleat loose, which struck both Dawson and Vong. Vong survived, but Dawson was declared brain dead 2 days later. 2 teenagers were killed 13 years apart, both while trying to hop cars while on the People Mover. Ricky Lee Yama, 17, was crushed to death in 1967, and Gerardo Gonzalez, 18, was crushed and dragged by a car when he fell onto the track. I did not know this. In 2003, Marcelo Torres, 22, was killed on Big Thunder Mountain Railroad when the car he was on separated from the rest of the train. Torres was the only fatality, but several other passengers sustained injuries. What? At Disneyland, a Disneyland employee was killed in 1974 while working at the American Sings attraction, which featured swinging animatronic characters. The stage would spin around and feature different segments. This one I know about, and I think I spoke about it before. After 3 minutes in length, in between songs, the theater would go dark. Deborah Gale Stone, 18, was the greeter for the audience as they entered the attraction. She would stand to the side of the stage and speak to guests with a microphone. Then the outer ring would spin around and show the audience the first tableau. One night, Stone happened to stand closer to the rotating wall than usual and was crushed between the wall and a stationary stage. While safety improvements were made after Stone's horrifying death, I don't think they have that anymore. I think it's still there, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if it's still there and they kind of covered it up. But I've heard of this one before. Secret rooms. There are numerous reports of strange and clandestine spaces at Disneyland. These rumors are sometimes true. A lot of those, I mean, I've heard of someone being killed on the Matterhorn, I believe, and I've heard of the American Sings one, but I didn't hear about the one, and then the boy drowning. I've heard about that one because they think he haunts that area. Secret rooms or the People Mover one. I've not heard about that one. Chris goes, I love the tunnels under Disney. There are numerous reports of strange and clandestine spaces at Disneyland. These rumors are sometimes true. There's a private club called Club 33. I did hear about that. I know there's some people that have actually been to it or have been invited. Located in New Orleans Square, membership to this club is expensive and coveted, and hopefuls waiting on a list for years at a time. It is difficult or impossible to nail down a cost unless you are actually ready to shell out some dough. The website sends you to an email address. We emailed, and if we get official word back, we will update this story. Until then, it's safe to say that membership is for the select few. Back in 2019, USA Today noted that initiation fees reportedly started at around $25,000, and that doesn't include an annual membership fee that starts at around $12,000. Woo! If those numbers were accurate, they've no doubt risen in the 4 years since. By the way, meals are not included. Membership and entry are closely guarded, and the membership can be revoked. A longtime Club 33 member filed a suit against Disney after they canceled his membership, allegedly for giving passes to a friend who auctioned them off from charity. What? It's also true that a basketball court was built inside the Matterhorn at the top of the mountain. Sort of. It's actually very small, not even the size of a half court, just large enough to shoot free throws. However, it's not true that Disney built the basketball court to skirt Anaheim's height limits for new structures. It was merely a suggestion from employees on what to do with the top unused third of the Matterhorn ride since the bobsleds didn't go up that high. There is a secret suite inside called the Disneyland Dream Suite. Disneyland intended for Disney intended for his family to live there, but died before its completion. This ornate, gorgeous site is now sometimes offered to a lucky family who wins a contest to spend a night in finery. Gunner Girl goes, where is Club 33 underneath the whole park? I don't think it's underneath. I think it said it was over by the New Orleans Square. It's probably somewhere, you can probably see it. I don't know if you can because I haven't been to Disney in so long. Dusty goes, I've been to Disney World twice and felt the prices were okay. I got package trips. They're expensive but truly remarkable, especially if you stay on property. Disney World is a little different because I feel like if you're going to Florida, um, you could get that like what Dusty says, you could get like a package. And I feel like Disney World isn't that bad because you're visiting more than one park. It's not like here in SoCal where you just have, Disneyland and California Adventure. Because over there at Disney World, there's Epcot. I remember going, and it was so humid. I will never forget the humid. That's why I hate humid weather, is because of that trip. Daniel goes, in Denver, Colorado, Liches Park, the roller coaster had a 90-foot drop at 90 degrees. The bar wasn't holding me, and my brother held me back from flying out. I would have died. Wow. Jennifer Marie goes, I thought Club 33 was above Pirates. They said in this that it's by the New Orleans Square or something like that. Hold on, let me scroll up. Located in New Orleans Square. I'm not familiar with Disneyland, so I don't know exactly where. Chris goes, I've heard there's a room on top of the castle. Possibility. There seems like there would be because of the way the castle's built. There's got to be some space above. Julissa goes, Club 33 is up above one of the shops of pirates. Thank you, Julissa. Bernadette goes, did you know if you look at a cup with the name Mickey in it, the reflection from the liquid says wicked? It's how it's spelled. Thank you, Jennifer. Pirates is in New Orleans. Like I said, guys, I haven't been to Disneyland since I was 20, and that was a millennial ago. Walt's frozen head. Let's just cut to the chase. Walt Disney wasn't cryogenically frozen, and his frozen body and or head isn't underneath the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. In reality, he died in 1966 from lung cancer, was cremated 2 days later. The urban legend likely dates back to an interview in 1972 given by Bob Nielsen, president of the Cryonics Society of California. He said Disney wanted to be frozen, but stressed that he wasn't. Disney's ashes are located at the Forest Lawn Cemetery in Glendale and have not been scattered around Disneyland. And I did not know he passed from lung cancer. I did not know. The Haunted Mansion scared someone to death. The Haunted Mansion opened in 1969, but some say that an earlier version of the ride was so terrifying that a man invited to preview the attraction suffered a heart attack and died. Due to the unfortunate circumstances, Disney ordered the ride toned down to prevent anyone else from being scared to death. The truth? There's no evidence to support that anyone ever died in the Haunted Mansion, though an 89-year-old woman did break her hip getting off a dune buggy once. The Haunted Mansion was supposed to open in 1963, and workers did finish the exterior that year. Disney also showed a teaser of the ride in 1965 on TV in an episode of Walt Disney's Wonderful World of Color. However, the ride wasn't delayed because it killed someone. What really happened was that Disney was tied up working on the New York World's Fair in 1964, and then he passed away in 1966. Afterward, there were some changes to the attraction design. For instance, there was supposed to be another attraction called the Museum of the Weird, designed by Imagineer Raleigh Crump. However, that got shelved after Disney died, though some of Crump's designs were incorporated into the mansion spill area. There have been other minor changes to the ride over the years. A ghostly figure known as the Hatbox Ghost resided in the mansion's attic, disappeared shortly after the attraction opened, but later returned. Jennifer Murray goes, the first time I ever went on Haunted Mansion, my parents and aunt and uncle scared me about the hitchhiking ghost. That I had my eyes closed the whole time. I was 9. The ironic part was I did open my eyes at the very end with the hitchhiking ghost. Joanne, how's it going? Bernadette goes, I actually like the latest Haunted Mansion movie. I have not seen that one. And I do know they recently reopened the Haunted Museum, I think, or Haunted Museum, Haunted Mansion. I think it was, when was it? Like in October? And they revamped it. So I don't even know what it looks like anymore. Hopefully they kept to the classic of what I grew up with and didn't change it too much. But that was always one of my favorite rides. That and Pirates of the Caribbean. I loved Pirates of the Caribbean. That was like the 2 rides I had to go on first. And then I remember Captain EO when they had it with Michael Jackson and Star Tours. Bernadette goes, isn't there a restaurant now for Haunted Mansion? I have no idea. Yes, there is a Haunted Mansion theme bar called the Haunted Mansion Parlor that will open at Disneyland in December of 2024. The bar will be located at the Disney Treasure, which offers cruises to the Caribbean. Okay. Maybe it's not because it's like Disney replacing Haunted Mansion with new restaurant. We ate dinner inside the Haunted Mansion? This was years ago, though. Maybe the Disney World? I do not know. There's a real dead body at Disneyland. The Pirates of the Caribbean attraction is a hotspot for rumors. According to legend, Imagineers decided to use real human bones when constructing the attraction because the fake bones didn't look dead enough. Supposedly, they got the bones from UCLA Medical School. One skeleton reigned over the treasure, 2 played a game of chess, and another met his end when he was struck with a sword. They say the skeletons remained for many years until they were eventually swapped out for fake ones. However, some believe that the skulls and crossbones behind a skeleton lounging in a bed are real. A cast member supposedly told Disney blog The Disney Dose that the skull was real on video. I don't think so. It could technically be true that there's a dead body located on the property thanks to rule breaking guests. Bloggers have asserted that Disneyland is a popular place for relatives to scatter the ashes of their loved ones, particularly within the Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean attraction. In Mouse Tales, a behind the ears look at Disneyland, author David Coing mentioned an employee who said that the family of a 7-year-old boy was once caught spreading his ashes inside the Haunted Mansion. Now, spreading ashes on private property is illegal, and Disneyland denies requests to do so on their property, though it's sort of a hard rule to enforce, and there are no real health hazards if it were to happen. In 2007, a woman was accused of scattering a powdery substance while on the Pirates ride. Bloggers claimed she was dispersing human remains. A witness said it looked like baby powder. The police couldn't find the substance to test it, and Disneyland denied that spreading ashes was a growing trend. We know a couple had a secret wedding at Disney, so we suppose it's possible that there have been other ash spreading incidents that were never discovered. Perhaps the Haunted Mansion is truly haunted if you believe in that sort of thing. And they're saying secret weddings. I think people can have weddings at Disneyland. It's probably going to be super expensive, but I think people can. And then I don't know, because I've cremated both my mom and my dad. I don't know about spreading their ashes. Because I feel like, I mean, I guess if that was their wish, I would have done that. But I kind of like them like how I have with their urns, because I have, to be honest with you, I have them right next to my bed. I mean, I guess it sounds weird, but I just feel like they're with me. So, and I can visit them whenever I want. So I kind of like that idea. But if they had that request to to sprinkle their ashes in the Atlantic Ocean, I would have done it. Bernadette goes, they have stopped people for getting engaged there. So sad. I have not heard about that, but I've seen videos where people are in front of the like the castle, and they're trying to take a picture, and there's a crew member like stopping and getting it in the way. Daniel goes, I'm just happy to have all my mom's record albums. My brothers and sisters fought over the ashes. Lame. True. I mean, it if even if I didn't have my parents' ashes and I had something of theirs, I'd be happy too. Just like you, Daniel. I would have been happy with that as well. It's still a piece of them. Destiny goes, didn't the governor of Florida get married there? I have no idea. Jared Fabry goes, the cost of cremation is expensive. I told my son to light me up out back, only half joking. Matthew goes, because that is on a steed for cast members. Daniel said she wanted to be buried under the cedar tree that she planted years ago, and that didn't happen. So sad. Jalissa goes, I saw someone get engaged 11 years ago right in front of the Blue Bayou restaurant. Someone was getting a caricature drawing, and it said, will you marry me on it? It was so sweet. Oh, that's super cool. I know a friend of mine got engaged there years ago. It's a friend of mine that that I went to high school with. He was one of my best friends. Bernadette goes, it actually brings me peace that I have my granny's uncle's ashes in my room with me. Exactly. I mean, I don't know. I like I said, I have my parents' ashes right next to me, right next to my bed in my room. Um, I've never thought anything of it. I just know that they're there and they're with me, and just like you, Bernadette, I have peace having them there. Abandoned by Disney. Many people believe there are a number of abandoned Disney properties holding spooky secrets. This is sort of true, especially if you're afraid of baby vultures. Discovery Island, originally called Treasure Island, was a Disney-owned island in Bay Lake from 1974 to 1999. Most people believe that the park shut down due to Florida law regarding bacteria in the water, but other people have littered comment pages about the island with theories, basically that the government bought the island from Disney to use as a death camp. While no one's sure what's going to become of the property, Disney did at one point consider turning the park into an interactive game inspired by the video game Myst, but the project never got off the ground, which is a shame because that would have been awesome. Disney also had a nearby water park called River Country, which too had shut down. Writer photographer Sheen Perez once broke into the abandoned Discovery Island by swimming there. He and his cohorts took several photos of the grounds, revealing an eerie scene with baby vultures and preserved snakes in jars. Disney was not cool with their adventure and threatened to ban Perez and his friends for life from their theme parks. Many people, however, believe there are two other abandoned resorts, a treasure island in the Bahamas and a park called Mowgli's Palace in North Carolina. Mowgli's Palace is actually from a creepypasta called Abandoned by Disney. A creepypasta is sort of like a modern urban legend, a scary story written by one person, then uploaded around the internet, often to the Reddit forum. Yes, I actually like the stories on Reddit. Sometimes you find some great ghost stories on Reddit. The problem is sometimes people are not great storytellers, so it doesn't come out like it should. The Abandoned by Disney story revolves around an urban explorer who decides to investigate an abandoned Disney resort near his hometown in North Carolina. There, he finds a snake in a bunch of abandoned buildings, some of which are scrawled with the phrase "Abandoned by Disney." He eventually locates a mascot area where he pulls off the head of a Donald Duck and a human skull. The skull falls out. Then a Mickey costume and inverse colors start walking toward him. He flees, but not before seeing the words "abandoned by God" scratched into the door as he escapes. While the story is clearly a work of fiction, many people wonder if Mowgli's palace was a real place. It's not. The story also mentions another abandoned property, Treasure Island in the Bahamas, a resort Disney purportedly sunk 30 million into before forsaking. Treasure Island was, of course, the original name of Discovery Island, but there's no concrete evidence to suggest that the abandoned resort ever existed. Sure, there are blogs talking about it and dubious stories, but not a lot of evidence. And Walt Disney Archive founder and former chief archivist Dave Smith once said in an interview on D23.com that Disney never owned a resort in the Bahamas, only the island Castaway Cay, which is affiliated with the company's cruise line. Tinkle Tits, what's up? Thank you for being a member of the Wolf Pack for 16 months. Hearts for Tinkle Tits. Thank you for the support. I spread ashes in gardens. It helps things grow. Jennifer Marie goes, I miss Tom Sawyer's Island. They never have it open anymore. The only Donald I support is Donald Duck. Sorry, Skeleton Duck. The Disneyland cats. I've heard of the cats. I've seen some pictures of the cats. I love the cats. Urban legend states that Disneyland released a number of cats into the park too, and we note the irony here, control the rodent problem. That's not true, but there are a bunch of cats that live at Disneyland. According to Disneyland Cats, which document the cats who live at the park, the kitties were found by Walt Disney when they entered the building that would become the Sleeping Beauty Castle attraction. Because the cats weren't harming anyone and are natural hunters, they decided to let them stay in the park. They are fed, cared for, and spayed and neutered when possible. There are currently about 200 cats or so living in the park, though as they tend to come out at night, you might never see one. You can, however, follow them on Instagram. I want to see the cats there. Actually, that would be something I would want to see. I'd be trying to pet the cats. Tinkle Tits is asking, didn't Tom Sawyer Island catch on fire one time? I know, didn't they have that? They were having it was like last year. They were having like a show. And the animatronic, like the dragon from the show, caught on fire. I don't know about the Tom Sawyer Island. fire, but I do remember like last year if something happened, if I'm not mistaken. Long-haired hippie people need not apply. When Disneyland first opened, there were harsher dress codes than you'll find today. For one, women aren't allowed to wear certain provocative attire, such as a halter top. Male guests weren't allowed to sport long hair. The latter is because Disney liked all neat, all American appearances, and not, as rumored sometimes suggest, because a group of long haired political activists once stomped the park. However, there is some truth to that rumor. The Youth International Party was a counterculture movement formed by Abby Hoffman, Anita Hoffman, Jerry Rubin, Nancy Krushen, and Paul Krasner in New York in 1967. They were left-leaning anti-war and pro-free speech. Their members, known as Yippies, mostly did a lot of flash mob-ish performances, art-style street theater to raise awareness and disrupt mainstream society. Their flag was a red star with a marijuana leaf over it, centered on a black background. Many Yippies who had long hair didn't really fit in at Disneyland. However, when the dress code loosened up in the late 60s, the Yippies decided to take advantage of it. Hoffman and Rubin organized a fake powwow for August 6th of 1970. There was to be a roast of Porky Pig, a woman libs movement to free Minnie and a breakfast at Aunt Jemima's Pancake House for the Black Panthers, according to writer and Disney historian Jim Hill. Disney called in police officers from Anaheim and Fullerton just in case things got out of hand, and staff politely told the Yippies that they were welcome so long as they didn't cause any trouble. There is a dress code. I don't know if they loosened it, but I remember back then, like if you worked for Disney, they're very strict. Like if you have tattoos, you can't have any tattoos showing. Can't have piercings. I think they kind of lifted it a little bit, but I remember that like you can't have tattoos, you can't have like they really like the clean cut. Um, I don't know what you call it, vanilla look. That's what they like. They didn't like tattoos. They didn't like piercings. I think now they loosened it up a tiny bit, if I'm not mistaken. But I always thought that was kind of I get it. I get when you work someplace you should have a nice business attire, but you should still be able to have a piece of you, some style, to add to it too. Jennifer Marie goes, I miss Fullerton. It's where my heart is. Daniel goes, you can't be scaring the children. I think there's so many people that have tattoos nowadays. I guarantee you the children's parents have tattoos and they know what they look like. I don't think we'd be scaring anybody. Tickle Tits goes, nurses can have tattoos now. It's like, would you rather die or have someone skilled with a tattoo save your life? I mean, everyone nowadays has a tattoo. So I mean, I get it. Sometimes you do cover up to be professional. I understand that. I get that. Even nurses do. No problem with that. You may see a little rose come up from underneath the sleeve, but still. I've seen those TikTok videos where I don't know how true some, because TikTok, you know what I mean, because a lot of people want to get TikTok famous, but I do see those videos every once in a while about like I'm a travel nurse and I have to change my hair color by so and so date because they don't like hair color. There's so many people also nowadays too coloring their hair. I saw this and this gives me older when I get older and I'm all gray vibes. Where I used to work at, there used to be a customer that would come in and obviously her hair was all gray, right? And she came in with bright purple hair and I loved it. And I go, I'm going to do that one day when my hair turns all gray. She gave me like gray goals. Bernadette goes, the tramp stamp is not the same anymore. No, because that's where a lot of people get a tattoo, believe it or not. Even when I was getting tattoos with my 20s, that was like where a lot of people got tattoos. They would get it there, or they get it like on their back, or they would get it like ankle so you could cover it. Um, it was very rare to like get get tattoos like on your wrist or anything like that. But I went crazy. I didn't care. Dusty goes, we weren't allowed to have piercings at the theater I worked at because someone found an earring in the popcorn. I do. I do know, just like what you said, Dusty, I do know, I think in some health, like food places, they don't want you to have piercings or wear rings and stuff like that, which I get because you're working with food. That's understandable. Gunner Girl goes, Lisa, you're right. My daughter in law is a hairstylist and she does all kinds of crazy colors. For kind of a while, the Yippies attempted to cause a scene were largely ignored. Most of the planned events didn't happen, and Hoffman and Rubin never showed up. Nothing happened until the early evening when a Yippie climbed. I even feel like saying Yippie is like kind of climbed a light pole to raise the Yippie flag, successfully annoying a tourist. Soon the two began shoving each other. Disney staff told the Yippies to leave and soon called in the riot police who had been waiting in the wings. Everyone was evacuated. No one was hurt. 23 people were arrested, and the guests who had their day ruined by the Yippies' valiant attempt to stick to the man via performance art were invited to return the next day for a refund. Since 2000, employees have been allowed to keep a neat mustache, but they'll have to keep the handlebars in check and grow their neat mustache while on vacation. Disneyland's current dress code can be found here. I am actually kind of curious, and includes not wearing costumes that may trick guests into thinking you are an official Disney character. Oh, I guess this is like a dress code for the parks that they have. If you guys have Twitch and haven't done so already, I do stream on Twitch as well. Not just for music. I know I haven't been on for the music part in a while. Been kind of tired from the 9 to 5, but I will find a way to mix cuz I am missing it. Um I've been practicing a bit here and there, but I am missing going on there and playing you some bassy tunes. But I do also have a Twitch for Grayson Report if you guys would like to follow. Bernadette has dropped the link. And I even kind of set it I set up my studio in here to kind of do, I mean the camera angle isn't the greatest, but if I wanted to stream from here, I can stream from here too. Heather Salvatore goes, so I have to get rid of my mustache. Elaine goes, got 3 tattoos, all family meanings. Heather Salvatore goes, those gray hairs with purple looked like crap being a hairdresser. Hers actually looked cool. Cause it was all like 50, it was all like a lavender purple. Heather Salvatore, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Welcome, Emily, Lise, Don, Sergio, and Shelly to the Wolfpack. Hearts for Heather and the new Wolfpack members. Thank you, Heather Salvatore. You are amazing. They control your mind through sense. Oh my God, if I saw this, I wouldn't have believed it in the first place. Some conspiracy theorists accuse Disneyland of controlling your mind through your nose. That's sort of true. Disneyland smells great, and that by design. The Smellitzer is a clever device invented by Imagineer Bob McCarthy to manifest smells throughout the park. The smells are meant to correlate with what you're experiencing. For example, you'll smell cookies on Main Street, candy and vanilla at Candy Palace. And if you visit during a certain seasons, you may smell what makes you nostalgic for them, like peppermint during Christmas or pumpkin spice come autumn. The Haunted Mansion also smells musty. Yes, it did. It's more of an attempt to control the environment via every means possible for an immersive experience and less of an attempt to control your mind, or is it? No, I feel like that's more of an immersive experience. I don't think they would control your mind with sense. The only thing I would say that is possible with is if you're super hungry and you're smelling cookies, then definitely you're going to be like, I am hungry and I want some cookies. That's how I feel. But I don't feel like just random musty scents like is going to be mind control. I'm sorry. Disney isn't the only attraction to use smell. At the world's most extreme haunted house, Macamee Manor in San Diego, which is not in San Diego anymore. Well, you'll smell the grossest smells for all 8 hours of your experience. Of course, a bad smell is probably the last of your concerns if you find yourself one of Macamee's victims. And if you play the basement and escape room in Silmar, don't expect pretty smells either. They use scents like rotting flesh and slaughterhouse to create a sense of discomfort, but only a little bit. And if you think that's gross, Disney character actors used to share underwear? What? Oh, hell no. That is disgusting. Say it ain't so. That is disgusting. That is something I would have never done. Oh, no. That's like so unsanitary. Dusty Ghost smells do remind me of previous experiences. It does with me. Like if I smell roses, I start thinking of an experience of where it's weird, like, oh, it smells like roses, and then you start thinking about like an experience you had with roses. Bernadette goes, oh, Disney, unless you have the smell of death, I'm not falling for it. I live it every day. Heather Salvatore goes, they do it on the cruise ships. Jennifer Marie goes, whoever wrote this has clearly never smelled Disneyland's water. Nerd Report, what is up? Disney character actors used to share underwear, as I was saying. Nope. That is so unsanitary. So unsanitary. This is true. Like, what the hell? They shared underwear? No. The human beings inside the roving characters used to have to share underwear because their own undies could potentially bunch up. That is disgusting. Oh, no. Clean undies are very important for health, if you know what I mean. That is just disgusting. You know how much bacteria looms in your oh I would never. I'd be like spraying the crap out of that. Oh hell no. If we had, I'd be like, oh hell no, I'm wearing a plastic bag. I don't care. Yeah, it is disgusting. And it's true. Cast members would turn in the undies at the end of the shift, supposedly to be properly washed. However, after numerous complaints from cast members about dirty underwear, scabies, and what? I don't think they meant to say public lice. You know what? I think they meant the other word. The Teamster Union negotiated in 2001 for cast members to each have their own set of Disney-approved underwear that they themselves could launder. This happened in 2001, so this is like almost recent. Like, what? Heather Salvatore goes, Capone doesn't believe it. They voted against it in 2001. Why did it take so long? That is disgusting. Well, I mean, like, I always think Disneyland, Tickle Tits Disneyland has been open since what, the 50s? That's what I'm thinking. And they've been doing that since then, since they've had characters to 2001. That's what I meant, Tickle Tits, that it's recent. I mean, it's not recent, it's 2001, but I'm thinking they would have changed that up like right away. Like right away. That is just, oh my God. I mean, yes, have them have their own underwear that they can take home and wash. That is more sanitary. Yeah, that's why Gutter Girl goes, "Don't they come to work with underwear on?" But I guess when they're in the costumes, the underwear bunches up. So I don't know. Is it a special underwear or something that you have to wear? They left they left the best for last. Tickle Tits goes, "It's probably more sanitary than it was back in the day, though." True, true. But I feel like, yeah, true. I was gonna try to get it. No, no. I still don't. I still don't think it's sanitary. Because my thing is, yeah, they probably took it. I mean, you would put it in the dirty hamper to get washed, but there's probably times that it didn't get washed and a cast member needed one and they just grabbed one. That is just, oh, I don't even think about that. Oh, that is disgusting. And that urban legend is true. Like, no, 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 no. Bernadette goes, "Here in Colorado with Casa Bonita, they did not clean the gorilla costume for years. So said a friend of mine who wore it and was told about it. So I believe it." Oh, like seriously, you gotta like if I ever had to wear one of those, I would definitely like Lysol the crap out of it. And then if I come out of it, I'm Lysoling. I mean, we use something called rescue spray that kills everything, like all the animal diseases. I'll probably bring that too. Oh my gosh. That is, oh. Tinkle Tits goes, "I kind of wish Fear the Walking Dead season 1 started around Disneyland instead of downtown LA. That would have been cool." Heather Whatever goes, "Disneyland is part of my life, like grandma's house, pieces of the heart to me." Jennifer Marie goes, "2001 is not recent, but it also is recent. Like it's wild that it took that long for a workplace to allow employees to wear their own underwear." Exactly. That's what I meant by, I mean, it's not recent, but it's crazy like they waited that long. That's what I mean, like recent. That was my definition of recent in that, because it's not, I agree with you, Marie, Jennifer Marie and Tickle Tits. It's not recent, but the fact that it took them that long. Elaine goes, "Skid Mark Central." Bernadette goes, "He got assigned to it on his second day there and he quit." Oh, I don't blame him. Especially if they don't clean those things. Like, oh, Lysol. Lysol is going to be your best friend. I don't even think that kills everything. Oh my gosh. To be honest with you, I don't know what they do, like how they clean those costumes. I never thought of that until like right now. Like, how do they put it through like steam or something? Like, I don't know. Yeah, Daniel, I'm with you on that one. Daniel goes, "I had a gorilla suit. People asked to rent it from me. Nope, no way. I wouldn't." Nerd Report. If you guys don't follow DJ Lewis Love on Twitch, he's going to be twitching later, or he's going to be twitching. He's going to be mixing later tonight. Jennifer Marie goes, "Apparently they don't clean them." Dusty goes, "I don't want Lysol on my body." Heather Salvatore goes, "I used to roller skate in costumes. We wore clothes on. We don't get naked in it." But still, though, like, say, like, the person before you didn't shower that day or wasn't the cleanest person you know, because there are some people out there, and you're the one that goes in it after them. That's, I mean, I know there's some people that have a thing like OCD when it comes to that. Like, I probably would be one of them. Like, I'd be like that. That needs to be cleaned. And especially in the summertime, like what Jennifer Marie's saying, I'm trying not to imagine the awful sweat and BO smell permanently infused in those costumes. Even in the wintertime, you're still gonna sweat in those things. But more so like the summertime and you're wearing that here in SoCal. Oh no. Heather, whatever goes, Disney employees never look dirty to me, like perfect. They have a dress code though with Disneyland employees. So, but still though, even if you're like super perfect and you're wearing that thing and like I said earlier, like in the summertime, we all sweat. That's something we can't, stop or it's a natural thing that happens and that goes into the costume. Not to say the person's dirty, because we could be the cleanliness type of person, but when we sweat, we still come out dirty. So like that all goes into the costume. So I'm like, okay, Matthew goes Disneyland from Google typically do not wash their costumes in personal washing machines. Instead, they return their soiled costumes to the costuming department where they are professionally cleaned and laundered using industrial washing machines. And I hope they have more than one costume. Because if they don't, that is just crazy. All right, guys, I'm going to open it up for questions and I'll give you a few more minutes to look for Skeleduck. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Daniel goes, movie quote, I'm getting a little woozy here. Matthew goes, I found him earlier. Heather Salvatore goes, you can't comment unless you work there, but the underwear thing is BS. It's saying it's true. I don't know. Jennifer Bree goes, I just noticed the creepy face behind you. Which one? The one up there? Or is there a new one that I can't see? Julissa goes, my friend's daughter works at Disneyland and is one of the characters, but they can't disclose which one she is. I should ask her about the costume issue. Yes, Julissa, and come back and tell us about it if they say anything. She's saying down. Like, down? What creepy face? Or the one, oh, the one, that one? Of David Arquette? That's a Scream. I forgot what Scream. What Scream? I forgot what Scream poster that one is. It's one of the Scream posters, and that's David Arquette. You know what, Jeffrey? I never noticed it before until you pointed it out. I was like, what face? And then I have my Bram Stoker's Dracula poster over here. You can't really see it though, but I have that one. And then Terrifier 2 is there. And then the I Want to Believe. And then I have the other Scream, the most recent Scream, the last Scream I have behind me that you can't see. Tico Tits goes, I love the Terrifier films, especially the Christmas one. I haven't seen that one yet. I've not seen the third one yet. I am behind. I'm waiting for it to come on a streaming service, but I don't know which one. I do know they're releasing it in theaters, certain theaters on Christmas Eve. I do have a shirt for it. I didn't wear it today. I wore my Krampus and Sam from Trick or Treat shirt. I didn't wear my Terrifier. I was gonna wear my Terrifier one for Terrifier 3, but I didn't wear it. Matthew, I was gonna mention that. I forgot about that. Matthew goes, I saw the trailer for Death of a Unicorn. I have not seen the trailer for it, but I did see I saw about it. And I was like, oh, Jenna Ortega, cool. Like I liked her look in it. But I will have to check out the trailer after the stream. It has a cool name too. Teagle Tits goes, I torrented it. I could send it to you if you want. Sure, why not? Because I don't know, like I said, I don't know what streaming service Terrifier 3 is going to be on. Because it's, I do know it's going to be on Screambox, but I don't have Screambox, and I don't know when. And I do know I also need to catch the teaser trailer for Superman. I know that's a big thing. It came out today, and I didn't get a chance to see it yet because of my 9 to 5. But I know that's there, so I'm going to try to check that out. I did see the trailer for 28 Weeks Later. It looks crazy. I cannot wait. That's one of the movies I am anticipating for next year. No, Dusty, I haven't. I don't mind some trailers. I'll watch some trailers. No, I haven't. That's like on my list to watch. I haven't had a chance today to see it. But I do want to check it out. Probably after the stream, I will watch it. Because it's the anticipated Superman. Let's see if James Gunn is up for the challenge. I know no one can replace Christopher Reeve. He was amazing as Superman. I don't even think Henry Cavill could replace Christopher Reeve, but the CW Superman wasn't that bad. Tyler Hoechlin, I think Hoechlin, I think is how you pronounce his last name. He wasn't bad. Gunner Girl goes, Lisa, do you still look for spirits or jump scares? I kind of do, not as much because I haven't had time, but I still look at them. I love jump scares. I love jump scare videos. I still look at some because I follow Facebook groups that like ghost ones where they show like their pictures and videos, and I still look at those. I did share one. I shared a video maybe last week of a ghost wolf looking thing that someone had caught on their trail cam. And I know that's what Christopher Reeve will forever be known as because that is the role that made him. It's like Daniel Radcliffe. He will forever be known as Harry Potter. He will never, that will never let him, because that was his first role. That's what made him big. He will forever be known. It's like, what's his name? Robert Pattinson. He will always be known as Edward from Twilight. Trying to think of some other actors that will forever be known because it was the role that made them big. And I know those actors try to struggle and try to pull away from being known as that, but they're always going to be known as that. Elijah Wood will always be known. I mean, well, Elijah Wood was in Lord of the Rings, so I think he was in. I think he was what? He was Elijah Wood was also in Back to the Future. The second one? Second one or no, the first one. No, second one. It was the future, so second one, if I'm not mistaken. He was like super young in that one, if I'm not mistaken. I saw that, Matthew. Jason Hawes is gonna beat me to it. Heather Salvatore, I know Christopher Reeve wasn't the first Superman, but he will always be Superman to me. Dusty goes, the story to be more true to the origins is great, and it looks like it. Ooh, awesome. Julissa goes, Elijah Wood will be forever known as a hobbit. Yeah, I mean, Elijah Wood was in a bunch of things. So I feel like he's known for a bunch of things. It's like what? Who? Fred Savage. If you guys are familiar with the Wonder Years, Fred Savage will always be known as the kid in the Wonder Years. But he was also in A Princess Bride. So I don't know. And he always wanted Wendy, as Tinkle Tits McGee said. Or Winnie. And Fred's brother, Ben, that you knew was his brother because they looked alike. I just remember the show. I don't remember everyone's name. It's been a while. I can't think of it. I can't think of any other people that they made it big and that's what they'll always be known as, and they don't want to be typecasted as it, but unfortunately that happens. Which is nothing wrong with it. All right, guys, I think I gave you enough time to find Skeleduck. Skeleduck is right there where my finger's pointing. He is on my right-hand side of the screen, might be your left-hand side of the screen. He is right there. He's hiding in between the skeleton or the pumpkin, the skeleton and the ghost plushie, which you can barely see. Right there. Oh, Doogie Howser. Thank you, Daniel Miles. What's his face is always going to be known as Doogie Howser. He was like 16, I think, when he did that show, wasn't he? I can't think of his name right now, but I have his face in my head. I just can't think of his name. Thank you. Neil Patrick Harris. Thank you. Neil Patrick Harris, right? Am I right? I know. Yeah, he will forever be known. Thank you, Gutter Girl. All right, guys. Any last minute questions before I end this stream? I want to give a shout out to Heather, whatever, for your PayPal earlier. My dog Jack Sparrow gets snooty when I go online, but he knows your voice, so he's cool. Hope all are okay. Hearts for Heather, whatever, guys. Thank you, Carol. All right, if there's no further questions, I am going to end the stream here. Thank you for joining me on this edition of Grayson Report. I will see you on the next one, which will be Tuesday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be there, be squared, stay spooky, and sweet nightmares, guys. And I will see you on the next one. Good night, guys, and have a great weekend. See you on the flip side. Good night, and thank you.